watching the #1 podcast in the whole entire Lucha Wrestling community. And I'm one of your hosts, Juanzo.
And I'm your other host, Jean-Paul Leek.
Together we are
Rope Rage.
How's every single one of you? It is Tuesday, so it's time to talk about NXT. Follow show for what it was, NXT Takeover in your house. And, a lot of news coming out from this show because there was a lot of doubt. Regal at the end of NXT Takeover in your house said, hey, a lot of things are going to change. So, like a lot of rumors with Samoa Joe. Now we finally know what Samoa Joe is going to be doing. Karrion Kross was also involved in this. Overall, Paul, well, what do you feel about this show?
I mean, I thought, this episode of NXT, anytime you follow a TakeOver pay-per-view, is kind of like a little mini refresh. Like, let's kind of get things back on track. And this one they did some things good. Like, we had said the big rumor, what's up with Samoa Joe? Now we know that was all fantastic. It's just some other little bits here and there, kind of revisiting old feuds and other stuff. It's like, we've seen it. We don't need to see it again. And, with the main event we got, and I think the wrong winners there. But
that was like, we knew that they were going to win. Unfortunately, they don't like the Girls Young Veterans. For some reason, we're going to be talking about everything. Thank you so very much to every single one of you that watch the videos, give us an opportunity to be in your houses, and also subscribe, comment. Thank you so very much. Keep doing so. We're 3 away. 3 away from the first 1,000. So we're really excited. And all of these things are because of you. So don't forget, Jean-Paul Egg always watches the Monday Night Raw. So he did a wonderful video here, talking about everything that happened for the Go Home show for Hell in a Cell. The most meaningful thing for me, at least, Piper Niven is going to be the muscle for Eva Marie. We did mention this on the NXT UK review, so we're always right. Thank you for that also. So Bobby Lashley also got pinned by Drew McIntyre. Is that becomes a spoiler for Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, I really don't know because there's all the rumors of Lesnar, and are we going to see Lesnar versus Drew again? Are we going to see, Lesnar and Bobby be a feud, for maybe a few pay-per-views or something? I really don't know. Raw is a mess. But, I mean, the main thing, like you said, out of this whole show was Piper Niven got her first win on the main roster, so good for her. But, of course, it won't go down that way in the record books. But,
no.
That just describes this whole show.
Exactly. They don't have a name for her. The name that, she actually pitched for that. Now, they didn't like that. It was like Drop or something like that. So it was a stupid name also. And, a lot of people body shaming her. So Mia Yim had to come out on Twitter and be like, so don't be bullshit.
But what's wrong with Piper Niven?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's worse. There's worse, she's a beautiful woman. I had the pleasure to see her at WrestleMania. Very, very nice. Give her a chance. The girl can actually wrestle also. So you like Eva Marie better just because she looks like that and you don't like a girl that actually wrestles. That says it all. So, Paul, tell me a little bit about William Regal. He comes out and then everybody knew. There was a big rumor. Samoa Joe is finally back on NXT. This is not done by Vince McMahon. This is actually done by Terra Ryzing, a.k.a. Paul Egg, a.k.a. Triple H. So he's the one that brought it back. So don't leave. Don't go to Slammiversary. Come back. And William Regal is saying pretty much, thank you for all these years of letting me be the GM of NXT. 7 years that we did a lot of great stuff. Portland, Brooklyn, all of these great pay-per-views. We turned to this brand, that it was a start out as a joke. Triple H got it, and now we're actually a brand that competes with the main roster. Even there was a few tears right there. So Lord Steven Regal, he is actually about to cry. But then Karrion Kross shows up. So, and then you got a little bit of heat with you, right?
Oh, yeah, I mean, Kross that was more just like a joke. It's don't insult my boy William Regal. But he pretty much says that, he knew that Regal couldn't handle this. And he pretty much just says that admit that Karrion was right. And that, that Regal's leaving. He's like, I knew you couldn't handle this. You were going to leave. Admit I was right. I control NXT. And he pretty much tells him to get out of here. And then, Regal's kind of just before he can really say anything, in this picture, he's like, so. And then, he's still all sad in the press. Then we hear, the familiar, the great, music, Samoa Joe, his music hits. Crowd, of course they go crazy, start chanting Joe and everything. He comes out, and that's nice to actually have, a decent-sized crowd, not full crowd, but, decent amount. Yeah. And then, Joe comes out, and, Regal pretty much says to him, Joe, I wanted to talk to you, but, not really right here in this circumstance with Karrion Kross, but I guess we'll do it. And he pretty much says he wants him to be the GM. And then Joe was like, well, as great as an honor that would be, I gave you a lot of trouble like Karrion did when I was here, but at least I showed you respect. And, I'm going to show you respect here, and I'm going to say no. He pretty much declines it, and he says that Regal shouldn't go, and that pretty much he's just going to be like his helper. His advisor, his like, hey, like, almost like we said with Eva Marie and Piper.
The muscle.
Like,
he's going to be the muscle. Yes, he's going to help out, like enforcer. You can call it the enforcer.
Yeah, exactly.
And I make the decisions, and then whatever happens, if he has to use power, he will be the one.
And I love when Regal's like, okay, but that doesn't mean he's like, if you do this though, you can't be an active competitor. Joe is kind of like, and then he's like, and you also can't put your hands on anybody. And he's like, so, and then he's unless provoked. And then he's like, yee.
And then you got to see that, and you get to see Samoa Joe and Karrion Kross. And the only reason that they don't do acting competitor, Paul, because he's not cleared to wrestle yet. So we don't know the severity of the injury that he has, but like they said that maybe in the near future, in a few months, he'll be ready to go. So at some point, we can see this down the line, which it will be good, because like you said, like Samoa Joe, being the guy that he is, he kind of make Luke Karrion Kross a little small. Like crowd reaction and all of that. Like this will be a really great match.
Oh yeah, because the crowd, like I said, this took me back to a couple years. We hear like the Joe is going to kill you chants and all this stuff, and I mean this was great. This is a matchup. I know a lot of people want to see it. I want to see it. I mean, Joe's the one who beat the Demon Finn Balor for the belt. You know what I mean? So it's like Joe ain't no slouch. So this is something. This got me real excited. And I think when they
get the hell out of here, get the hell out of
the teaser, like you said, this Killer Cross and Samoa Joe Slammiversary. I think when they saw that teaser, Triple H might have dipped into his own pocket and was like, Vince, if you're gonna be bullshit, I'll sign this dude with my own money because he's too good to let go to TNA.
Yeah, exactly. So like you said, it's like they kick him out, they're like nah. Hey, goodbye. So like they kicked out a Karrion Kross. Talking about Nana, happy birthday, Bailey. Like it's her birthday today, so we love her. Jean Paul loves her even more than me. So happy birthday, girl. So also like you see like the stretch hands, he's gonna be the enforcer. William Regal finally has some help. And that's the reason that like even Triple H said like William Regal is not going away. So they actually fell through for that promise. So a really great start for NXT because now we have two guys that are very, really big names. Everybody knows who they are, and they're going to be teaming up. And then we know later on the show we're going to be seeing them what they did and everything. So now tell me a little about Kushida. He had an open challenge. Of course they have to do this trash. I don't like this, so we're going to be talking about that in just a little bit. But first, we got a match that, why do we even seeing this? Is Fandango and Tyler Breeze against Imperium. Did I care about this? Very little to none. Nothing. I didn't care for this match at all.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I probably cared for it even less. When I saw this match, did Breezango even get an entrance? I think they were just in the ring. I think it was maybe just Imperium.
They don't get entrance. They're not worthy enough now.
Yeah, and then so it's like, okay, they're just going to beat Breezango. They're talking about Walter, 800 days, title reign, all this stuff. I mean, pretty decent match. Breezango, they're not bad, but they just aren't presented in a legit way. So,
yes.
Okay, why should we care about them? Imperium, they were once awesome. Now, they're really falling down the ranks for me and a lot of people. They're not as good as they used to be, at least perception-wise. And, especially when you have Breezango then beat them here. I mean, what the hell does that, and then as soon as it's like, you hear, you hear their music, and not even half a second, boom, and they kick the shit out of them. They put the flag over them. So what? Is this a feud I want to see again? Absolutely not. Why is
especially remember what Walter told him is like that's when everything started to go wrong. So that was like the very first moment when things went south for Imperium.
Yeah,
it's still going south because the beatdown afterwards it doesn't say anything.
No,
they lose the match.
Yeah, exactly. It don't matter if you beat the shit out of the guy when the match is over. You still lost the match. I would have rather not had this on the show and had no overrun at the end of tonight's episode. Have it
10 minutes. Yeah. 10 minutes, 10 minutes of overrun. Take that away. You're not competing against everybody. The only way, we actually criticize AEW big time, most shows because they're bad. But at least we say at least they finish at 10. So good time for the timing on that. Good job for that. Kudos on that. So this feud, like you said, it doesn't mean anything because they're not actually challenging for a belt. They should start feuding with Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher. That will make more sense. two teams that I can actually fight for that number one contendership spot. We'll see what happens. But tell me a little bit about this, because also, like, didn't we see these guys? You even said it to me. They almost killed each other in that Ascension match. Why are they still going against each other? We get to see Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole, and you see this. This is the beauty about this new alliance with Samoa Joe. Having Joe there, William Regal seems to be like he cannot hold, these both guys. They're disrespecting him. They don't care about William Regal. But when Joe steps in, there you go. He chokes out Adam Cole. So that was really cool. That was the highlight of the show for me.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. The best thing with this was all just Joe. And, I mean, what did I text you? How the hell did this guy not be WWE champ?
Oh, yeah, I cried.
I mean, it is. And, I love, they're going at it, and Regal says, you two are having another match at a Great American Bash. You're going to settle this. And it's like, okay, well, they had an unsanctioned match, so now you're doing a match that's less as violent. It's, okay, it's just a normal one-on-one match, all right, I guess. I mean, it'll be good, but, I mean, I don't think we really wanted to see it. They had the unsanctioned match. You just keep these guys apart.
He's not needed because, again, who's going to win out of the two? O'Reilly, right? So why do you need to be the Cole twice? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get it. And I don't think O'Reilly has... I mean, he has the appeal, and he's a good wrestler, but Adam Cole is just on another level.
Yeah, Adam Cole is
I'm sorry. And that's nothing against O'Reilly. That's just Cole is that good. When he said that line, how do they make me special? They ring the bell. I mean, that was... It
absolutely is the truth. Adam Cole, wherever he goes, he can go away 9 months, 10 months, a year, 12,000 years. He'll come back, ring the bell, Adam Cole is just, you get my attention.
But I love that, though. But I love that, though, when Joe choked them out and threw Cole in the ground. He's like, when he wakes up, tell him he has to pick an opponent for next week.
Yeah, exactly. Really good stuff. Like you said, Joe made the difference in this show. The difference maker is Samoa. Lucy. No, it's not Lucy. Samoa Joe, absolutely great. Good thing that Triple H is a guy that actually has a good taste for business. He knows what he needs to do for his own brand, and he brought Joe back. It's a shame that Slammiversary is not going to have Samoa Joe. Sorry, guys. It happens. So let's talk about Santos Escobar. Santos Escobar just cut in a promo about Bronson Reed, how he used this thing of putting him through that, the plexiglass and all of that. He says that's the only way that he was able to beat him. He knew that he needed to do that to put him way in the match, but he says the next thing between you and me is going to be one-on-one. So the feud is going to carry on. So, I mean, hopefully this next time Santos Escobar wins, because that, we didn't get your thoughts, but, give me really brief. That match in your house was really, really lame.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't like it. I thought because they did the 6-man, everything on the line, you were going to give it to the heels. But, I really don't understand why you're doing this match again, unless Santos is going to win, because why are you burying this guy? That's the thing. It's like, okay, they already won the big winner-takes-all match. Move on to a new feud. Don't do this with Santos again if you're just going to bury him. It's the same thing with Cole. Don't do the rematch if you're just going to bury the guy, because out of the two guys, I'm sorry, Santos Escobar is the star. Bronson Reed, to me, he's hot right now. And then eventually he'll just, okay, you'll be the Bam Bam Bigelow. You'll be, okay, you're just the big guy.
Anybody that is a better talker can be better than Bronson Reed. Yeah, so you're right. So hopefully they don't do that to him. I mean, like you said, put the title back on Santos Escobar. Everybody was saying, remember, if he gets the North American champion, then right away he can just be the NXT champion. Santos Escobar has the ceiling, his ceiling is so high. Bronson Reed, he could also challenge for the NXT Championship, but, it's not that appealing like Santos Escobar. There's more to the character for Santos than from Bronson. So, that's what we have, but, we had the debut. Trey Baxter, a.k.a. Blake Christian, we got to see him in the NXT, in the Impact Cup, and for the X Division Cup that we did on January. I think that's what it was when we did that pay-per-view for Impact, that he also, battled there. He was actually in the final, I think, but he didn't win. Or the semifinal. Now he signed for NXT. Now he's Trey Baxter, and he had the match with Kushida for the Cruiserweight Championship. Like you said, a lot of matches here, but just to showcase a new person on the Cruiserweight division. This guy is pretty good, and Kushida actually, is the champion. So of course he has to look okay for the match.
Yeah, I mean, besides just the communication errors, like you said, maybe it was something language barrier. It looked like I'm gonna try to do this move, and then a guy will drop down a little too early, and then Kushida picks him back up, and then it just little stuff like that you catch. But to the untrained eye, I mean, you thought, I'm sure a lot of people thought.
I like that line, untrained eye, yes.
Yeah, I mean, you see, what's his name? I know Baxter's the last.
Trey Baxter.
Yeah, Trey. The 450 splash. I mean, and just the springboard off the ropes. The dude is super athletic, super agile, doing stuff like that. Him and Kushida, minus those little, mishaps they matched up really well. I thought it was, really good. The only thing I did notice a couple of times, and not just the pin, or the Spanish fly that he did was really good too. The midair, like he caught him midair, hit the Spanish fly. But when they're up on the top rope, you saw, Trey kind of patted him on the butt, and then Kushida did the move. So just like they try to hide that a little bit. He's new here. Maybe he doesn't know where the cameras are and stuff, but you kind of want to hide the little
camera,
signals.
they call it, right?
Yeah. You kind of want to hide those signals because otherwise it looks like he told the guy, "All right, I'm ready. Do your move. And then
in Jean Paul's jargon, like the collaboration. Okay, let's do the move.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, we knew Kushida was going to win. The only thing that was like kind of weird was pretty early on in this match, you saw Kyle O'Reilly come out, and you're like, okay, what the hell's this? Especially with what we saw. And then I was thinking he was going to challenge Trey. For some reason, I was just like, oh, he's going to challenge a new guy. Whatever, they're going to have a good match too. Maybe they're really going to try to push Trey in this division, match with Kushida, match with Kyle O'Reilly. But that wasn't the case. Oh, and Kushida won with the hoverboard, in case anybody was wondering. And then, O'Reilly, he says, oh, I want to face the best. You're one of the best. You and me. Next week, you accept. And Kushida's pretty much like, I already accept. So they have this match. I'm almost positive it's not for the title, even though O'Reilly probably does weigh 205 or less. I don't think it's for the title. But, I'm excited to see it. I just hope Kushida wins. But I'm going to be honest with you, Adam Cole's probably going to interfere.
Yeah, I'm not
probably going to end the line for me.
The line for me. He's going to probably interfere. He's going to be in action also. So, they're going to keep, hyping this feud up. I mean, it's not as exciting because, again, like you said, you gave us such... It's kind of like the same thing with the Pinnacle and the Inner Circle. You gave me such a big blow of, the first match, and then why am I supposed to keep watching this? Instead of building him up, match by match. But like you said, it's a good show for...
Yeah, I mean, if I would have booked this, legit, you would have had Adam Cole win the unsanctioned match. And then at some point, Adam Cole would have been NXT champ again. And then, O'Reilly could have earned his way, got that match, and O'Reilly could have beat him then and then become NXT champ. That's how you should have told the story.
And then the win becomes what? Even more important, becomes a huge deal. So I agree with you. The only thing I didn't like talking about the Kushida match is just he didn't even lock the hole. There's the hoverboard there, and then... Mm-hmm. I mean, are you clapping because the match is over? Because I don't know what the hell is going on. Put the pressure. Okay, maybe give me 2 or 3 seconds. No, not even on. All right, I gotta go. Let's go. The show we have 10 minutes of overrun.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, they already knew that there was gonna be overrun, so they're like, all right, come on, quick.
Let's go. Yeah, so this is gonna be okay, but like you said, I just feel that Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly is good on the paper. Yes, we all match quality. We all want to see it, but again, the story doesn't tell for more matches because it's over. The feud is completely over. I mean, unless you bring Roderick Strong somehow, or maybe you're being brought Bobby Fish. So then that way you bring all the elements that are going to make the match better. But I don't know if this is going to be the case or not. So let's move on to Frankie Monet. She's going to have the encore. Next week she's going to have another match, hopefully a better one. Not meaning because the match that she had before was bad. I'm just saying with a better opponent because again, this is the slower build that they have with her. I want to see her going against Io. Much rather than what they're doing with Io and with Frankie one more time. And then she kind of teased maybe the girls from the Robert Stone brand of Tony Khan, they should join her, because Aaliyah and also the other girl they had a match against Sheree and also Zoe Starks for the pre-show of NXT Takeover in Your House. So you see maybe an alliance, Frankie's really good with all those things. Remember Rosemary, remember Bravo, all of that on Impact. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, is it Jessica Maya? Is that who it is?
Jessica Maya, yes.
Yeah, I think she's probably eventually going to kick Robert Stone out because you see how Frankie dresses, she has the dog, all this stuff. So in storyline, it's probably she's rich, so she'll be oh, they're working for me now, and then Tony Khan will be so, and then that's what I think they're going to do. Which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. At least Frankie's on TV, but I would rather see her be mixing it up, like you said, go right into the Io Shirai feud, especially with what we're seeing with Io Shirai. It's I feel like they're just doing that because they really don't know what to do. They're kind of lost, and they're okay, go do this.
Yes, exactly. So to me, it's why don't they just go right away with Frankie? Because Io losing is not bad. Io's losing is not gonna be buried by Frankie. Frankie's as good, so you're not gonna lose on anything. But that's what they're gonna do. Tell me a little bit about the celebration with LA Knight. With our boy LA Knight, he's talking about with Teddy Biasi, he said, hey, every time that I saw you on TV with me and my dad, you were always there. You're a big hero for me. this championship represents a lot, so he's really excited. He's really thankful for like the opportunity. What do you think about the match, really quick? Because like I said, unfortunately you were not here with me for like Takeover, but for me that was the match of the night.
Oh yeah, that was definitely the best match. I mean, the main event was probably the close second, but I thought the ladder match definitely stole the show, and the right winner here. And as he's going on, oh, I had your action figure. He came with this belt. It was so legit. Blah blah blah. I'm like, what is this Mark going on and on for? I'm like, this is out of character. This better not be a babyface turn. I'm like, what's going on here? I'm like, I even texted you. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
And then as soon as I texted you, boom, he knocks out DiBiase, and he's like, yee, and he's all excited. And then, Beth and everybody, they're like, oh, he's human trash. He's filth. Oh, my God, how could he do this? Hall of Famer, a legend, everything. Then Cameron Grimes comes out, makes the save. And, what did we say all along? Oh, Ted DiBiase managing Cameron Grimes would be great. And then we said, oh, well, maybe he's going to manage LA Knight. Not that LA Knight needs it, but at least it kind of boosts him. But now we're getting the best of both worlds because LA Knight has the belt. Cameron Grimes has the manager he needs to make him feel legit, even though he is, but they present him as a comedy act. Now he has somebody like DiBiase to make him feel, more special.
So they take him to that next level that he needs.
Yeah, so I'm fine with it. I'm fine with this. I just don't want them to do it at Great American Bash and then he wins the belt from LA Knight.
Oh no, yeah, that would be dumb.
Yeah, at least do stretch it out, do something with it. Even, I don't know, maybe have him beat Cameron Grimes and then, whatever. Cameron just does his own thing till some other point. I don't know. I just don't want to see him give the belt to Grimes and then LA Knight's like, and then he doesn't know what to do.
Exactly. Like, no, I feel that like now LA Knight has a lot of heat. And that's good because he needs it. Because remember, he started out really good, but he started to lose matches and all of that, and really didn't have a meaningful feud. This is the first time he has something really good for TV, so it's okay. And I like how he goes, well, I gotta get rid of things from the past or things that are not necessary. And then boom, he starts beating him up to Bianchi. So we'll see what happens. But like you said, Cameron, at least I said in the review, you're saying it now. He's the babyface. Whatever they're doing, they're making him a better babyface. Maybe preparing him from Carrion at some point, or maybe if Santos Escobar. So they're trying to have him as a really good babyface, believable. So that's really good for that. So now let's talk about our NXT Women's Champion Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai. Hey Mac, you don't like that from Mackenzie, but they're gonna have a match against Kaden Carter and also with Casey Catanzaro. So there's just they saying about that, hey, just warm up those titles. Dakota Kai wants one more title because they're talking about Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell, all of that. So we go to next picture. Also you see the feud is still going on, and you saw Regal in the middle of this because you saw Amber Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. I don't know if I like this in the middle of it because the feuds are still there, but it's come on, can you just guys wait? And it shows that the show is a mess. It shows that nobody cares, nobody respects the show.
And at this point, I was really hoping Joe would have choked out both of them. No. But I was just I guess they're pissed because technically, Ember, when she hit the Eclipse, she probably would have pinned Raquel if it wasn't for Dakota putting Raquel's foot on the ropes and stuff. So obviously the heat's still there. And, but this was a little bit unneeded, especially because we saw with Adam Cole and O'Reilly. It's okay, whatever, that's good. We didn't need to see this, little jaw-jacking back and forth. But, and then we got the match, and, the match was all right. Nothing really it was awful. But, again, it was a match where you're more just focusing on, the narrative of, Dakota Kai, she really wants, another belt, or she wants a belt for herself. And maybe she's pushing Raquel because, Raquel just wrestled 2 days against Ember Moon and all this stuff. Is she really ready to have, a match like this and all this stuff? So, to me, we're dropping hints like that. I think maybe, they're going to have the tag belts again, and then they're going to be wrestling, double duty, and then maybe that's why Raquel loses her women's championship or, something, and then you kind of do a feud, or I don't know. But I think they're planting those seeds for this team to split up, but Raquel looked good in this, and of course we didn't think the babyfaces were gonna win.
Oh yeah, Casey Catanzaro, also Carter, man, they're just there, they completely abandoned the storyline with Nia Tian Sha, also in May Yim and and Xia Li, so like completely abandoned. So it was fine. Like did we hope for anything better than that? No, it's fine. Like you said, we'll see what happens with like the NXT Women's Championship picture. You still have Toni Storm there. You still have Sheree. You still have a lot of girls. You still have Zoe Starks one more time. Still have the rematch with Io. So we'll see what they can do. So it's really interesting. Tell me a little bit about this, Paul. It's like you need your phone to be charged. What's going on here? Who's this guy gonna be? Clearly the guy's poor or like forgot his charger. If it is a girl, I don't know what's going on, but like I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I have honestly.
Some people call CM Punk. Okay, how can you tell CM Punk?
I mean, I was gonna say you have your finger on the pulse more than I do. I have no idea. I really have. I'm not even gonna speculate. I don't know. It could be someone from the Performance Center. It could be somebody who they released and they re-signed. I really don't know. I have no clue who this is.
Yeah, so it's interesting. At least they keep.
What do we get? What do we get maximum this episode? To 20%. So I think they won't probably show us who it is till the battery reaches.
Yeah, exactly. Like the battery will be like 100%, or is like at least how are you grading the show? It was like 11 out of like the 100. Yeah. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So like hopefully as the show keeps going on, it can be better. But like let's move on to Io Shirai. Paulie. Like she's gonna come and address the WWE universe. She's just talking. About like how she's back, she's feeling good, and before she can actually say anything, boom, Candice LeRae comes out. Io, the difference between you and me now is like now I have the gold, you don't have any single goal, and I still don't like you, so she attacks. Indy Hartwell comes out, so the tag champs are overpowering Io Shirai. They were about to put her to a table. Zoe Starks comes out, starts the beat down, and you see that like clearly this is gonna turn out to be a match in maybe the Great American Bash for the titles. I'm thinking. I don't like this because, like you said, like Zoe Starks is really good. Io also, but again, a feud with like Candice, like we've seen this so many times that like it's not even needed. Not even if you ask both of them, you want to fight, they're going to be like, no, we're best friends now.
Yeah, I mean, I would have rather. I don't know. I would take any combination, but I would have rather maybe seen Io or Zoe go against Frankie. Have that be a feud, even if you want to do Zoe first, because Zoe's not as big of a name, so Frankie can go over and do Io. But, where's Saray? Put her and Io together as a tag team. Do something because we haven't seen her in a couple weeks.
Yeah, now she was in like the NXT Takeover, like the pre-show. But pre-show is actually kind of, I don't want to say insulting, but is it like really? Like the girl, like, she just debuted it. You got to keep it like the mystique. You got to keep like the aura, like, oh, okay, like she's a special act. No, just go, nobody's going to see you. Instagram Live. Okay, Instagram, not even YouTube. Okay, so we're actually going below it, the tone. So I don't know. But this is like, to me, it's boring. And it shows, like you said, creative when it comes to Io Shirai are actually dropping the ball. I don't like it. We'll see what happens. But if it turns out to be a championship match, I don't want to see the titles being dropped to these two girls. It doesn't make sense.
And I don't like this either because, I mean, I know obviously you have to form a tag team with two singles wrestlers. That that's obviously how a team forms. But this was two already established singles wrestlers.
Yes.
And you're just throwing them together for the hell of it to challenge people. I mean, I don't like it. Create new teams. You have all these people in the Performance Center. Make new teams. You could book this better.
Exactly. And it shows that, like you always said also, like they have way too many people in all the brands. They have way too many because it doesn't matter. You cannot feature all of them and prominently. You can't. So, we got to see Samoa Joe and Johnny Gargano. Johnny was celebrating Joe. That was good. Funny segment. You see the intensity from Joe. They're like, Gargano, get the hell out of here. So the way I don't have a title. I don't have anything going on for me. So really cool. So, funny. And at least, Johnny in this is not bad. When it's this kind of fun or like this kind of humor, I don't mind it too much. And then you see the intensity between these two. So
I mean, I didn't actually care for this just because it's, again, if this was like, I'm like, is this AEW? What am I watching? Anytime it's like these guys are trying to talk, these wrestlers just show up and they're like, oh, we're just going to interrupt. We're going to be obnoxious. And I mean, I don't understand this stare down. Pete Dunne already, I'm sure he heard, okay, Joe can't wrestle. It's like, don't tease me with these stare downs if you're not going to do the match.
That's the thing. You can, and that's the problem. You just mentioned it. The problem is because the guy's not clear to wrestle. Why you keep doing this?
Yeah, like unless the long-term thing is, okay, Joe, okay, we know you're going to be good in 2 months or so, and we're going to do all these legit matches. Fingers crossed you don't get hurt again.
Yeah.
But like, But I mean, don't tease me with these great matches and then we never get them because it's like, what's the point? It's like,
but like you mentioned, fingers crossed. And what does this Don likes to do? Don.
Yeah.
Don. Fingers carrying cross. So we'll see what happens on that. But like you said, I mean, the show revolved around Samoa Joe, so you have to tease it. And maybe, like you said, they're going to do it. They're not going to do it. We'll see what happens. So, Paul, let's go to the main event quick. Tornado tag match, the Grill Jump Veterans against Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher. We had, like, Ever Rise in the middle of all of this. They're teasing a feud with, like, Isaiah Swerve Scott and his group, so we got to see that. The Grill Jump Veterans got a promo. So, that's the stuff that we have in the middle of the show. But this, match quality, a little good. I'm not going to say it was great. It's just, like you said, this kind of main events is just like the full-out shows from like a pay-per-view. They have to put the guys that were not in the pay-per-view. And, but like the winner kind of bothers me, so that's why I wasn't into it as much. But, match quality, I think it was pretty decent.
Yeah, for a tornado tag, all four of these guys are great. This was good. The Grizzly Young Veterans really dominated pretty early on. Champ and them, they kind of got the jump start, attacking them before they even had their coats off and everything. But eventually, the Grizzly Young Veterans took over. It was good. The main thing here, Ciampa, his injured neck. They hit not the Doomsday device, but what did they hit on the outside? Or is that what
they did like a move. Like I don't remember. It wasn't the Doomsday device, but like it was something that would compromise, attacking the neck clearly. So it was like, oh no, don't do that. Don't do that.
So Ciampa was like done, and they're like, oh my god, he's not even moving, and all this stuff. And the commentary keeps bringing up Ciampa's neck. And he got hit like that, and I thought, okay, it's almost 10 o'clock now, because we said there was 10 minutes overrun. They're going to pin Thatcher. Okay, legit. This will be a way to continue the feud, because you think MSK, they're babyface champions. Give the title to Grizzled Young Veterans. These guys can have their third match or fourth match, whatever it would have been. Then Ciampa and Thatcher can beat them for the belts at some point in the future. That's how you tell a feud and or tell a story and do a feud. Not bury the heels over and over and over and then try to present these guys on TV like they're legit, because the Grizzly Young Veterans keep losing. How am I supposed to be like, oh, these guys are awesome? Yeah. Even though I am a fan of them, every time they lose, I like them less and less, because it's like, I'm not going to like a loser. I'm like, I'm sorry, but, unless you're legit, I'm not going to, cheer for you. And be like,
and the main problem is, like, when it's a match that is not as important, always win. Big event match, with the big one. Never win.
Yep, done. And Ciampa, so he was done and his neck was hurt, but then eventually he gets back up and he's fine. He doesn't sell the neck.
And they do the big comeback, they start like going at it. Like
remember when guys had injuries and they got hit in that injured thing and they sold it for like a day, and they're like, oh, they can't move and they have to wheel him out on the gurney. Yeah, and like, oh, is he dead? We don't know. Now 5 minutes later, Ciampa's back up and like nothing happened. And like you said, they took out Gibson. They put him through the table on the table. He was done. Then eventually we saw, he hit the fairy tale ending, and then he does the ankle lock. And like you said, I mean, I think he held on for maybe 3 seconds. Then eventually Drake tapped out. And, then, of course, the baby faces, they're like, oh, we're badass, all this stuff. So we're going to see babyface versus babyface for the tag title?
Yeah, because they have, like, this quick stare down right here with, like, the popcorn. There we saw MSK. There's, like, right there. And Thatcher got, like, the popcorn, like, ate it a little bit. So, they fight for popcorn. I mean, it's not even for the title.
What did he eat it with? His 2 teeth?
Can he
chew popcorn with only 2 teeth?
They put, like, 2 things of popcorn. So, like...
Yeah, okay, legit.
He has to eat, like, carefully. Timothy Thatcher has to do that. But like you said, I don't care for this team at all. Like, Tommaso Ciampa is great, but, like, he needs to be on a singles run. He needs to turn heel. He needs to start, like, like going against baby faces, the little baby faces that NXT has, or like even he can go as being the baby face and be like, Karrion, we have a rematch. We need it. Remember when you debuted? You debuted against me. Something like that, I feel. And Timothy Thatcher, like, unfortunately, like you said, like, the guy has been, like, floundering. Like, he doesn't really have a path, and that's the problem. So we'll see what happens, but this is, like, how it ended, like, the show. We thought that was going to be the end, but no, because we got to see at the end. Remember how, like, they were going to talk, and then they went on commercial, or, like, they said something, and then, like, they went to, like, another promo. So finally here they did it right, and Samoa Joe and William Regal says to each other, hey, it was a good day. We did fine. It was a good day at work. So we'll see, the next days how it goes. And the card leaves, and the show goes off the air. So overall, I feel that, like, not a bad NXT. I mean, little things, like I said, they need to tweak a few things, but at least we know that Samoa Joe is going to be, like, on air talent. He's going to be there every week. That's going to enhance. And like you said, once he's ready to wrestle, then is when you can cash in. because it's going to be Karrion Kross, Pete Dunne, all of these feuds that he can have eventually. Finn Balor is going to show up if he's still on NXT, so that could be maybe another one, a rematch or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, like you said it perfectly. Samoa Joe was the main focus. That was the main thing a lot of us were excited about while we're watching this show. Every segment with Joe was pretty much a home run. And, the only real thing I have faults is the Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly. Really don't want to see it again. Io Shirai, Candice LeRae. Really don't want to see it again. But, at least I think the main stuff they have going on, I think is good. Now we just need to find out who's going against Karrion Kross at Great American Bash.
Yeah, like they didn't pull the title, so I mean they're gonna have him for like a few more weeks. So it's gonna be interesting to see what are they gonna do with him. So all of that, and we'll be covering every single thing. Family, thank you so very much. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. Also give the video a like so it keeps going up in the rankings and more people get exposed to the original Rope Break. And else can they find us, Paul?
And make sure you follow us, Rope Break on Facebook, the OG Rope Break on Twitter, Original Rope Break on Instagram, and right here on YouTube, the home of the #1 podcast in the YouTube wrestling community, the Original Rope Break.
So family, tomorrow, don't forget there's no AEW, so we'll see you on Thursday for NXT UK. So you and me have one more thing that is left to say, and that is...